I'm Kurt. Welcome to Good Enough Backyard Beekeeping. It's October 24th in central Connecticut, and the temperature is around 74 degrees. It's actually supposed to get a little bit warmer as the day goes on. It's catch-up time. I have some things that I'm a little delinquent in getting done, and I'll show you what I'm going to be doing. It's winter prep. At this time of year, you should have been feeding your bees, you should have had them treated, and your hives should be in the configuration that you're getting ready for winter. I have a couple hives that aren't doing very well. We'll take a look at those, see what we're going to do with them, and some of them I don't have to do anything with. And as a beekeeper, you should set realistic expectations, because if you don't have realistic expectations, you're probably going to be very disappointed. Right now I have about 15 hives. I know of 3 of them that probably will not make it through the winter. So now I just have to figure out what I'm going to do with those. Part of this is going to be, I'll figure it out as I go. And let's go take a look. Okay, big part of what I'm trying to do today is assess the hives. This hive is all ready for winter as far as I can tell. It's down to 2 deep boxes. I think there's a shim in there. We'll look at that real quick. Homosote board and a foam insulation and an upper cover, a telescoping cover. So you want to check the weight with the rock removed. That's got a pretty good weight. Not too, pretty happy with that, I guess. I pull out my sample boards. Now, I do have Formic Pro in here that I'm finishing up on. I'm evaluating the board at the bottom. I'm seeing what looks like some kind of little droppings. So that's a little concerning. I hope I don't have a mouse living in there, but maybe I gotta dig a little deeper. So I usually don't run with a paper towel in here, but I did that just so I could see the mite kill better. I'm gonna put this back. So this hive did not have a shim in here, and I do not have Homosote in here, so I'll have to correct that. But I also have Formic Pro in here, so let's get rid of that. So I'd like to tilt the hive, not lift it. It's tilted back, reach underneath. Get your Formic Pro out. Bottom of this hive is very light. So I think what I want to do is put some food on here. And I want to take a peek just to see if I can see any indication of mice. Do not see any. So I like to cut the side with the label on it, put a little V in here, peel it back, put that on top of the hive, put a shim in here, moisture board, this had an inner cover, getting rid of that. Get the bees off. Should be good to go. So we'll check this hive in about another week to see how they're doing with consuming the hive alive. And on to the next one. I don't know if you noticed, I still have a queen excluder in here. That's got to go. And I also have formic in here. Hopefully they properly everything and I can just tilt. I do not want to lift. So let's do that first. Good, everything's staying together. It gets a little hairy when everything falls apart, especially with this many bees. Give them a little smoke, get them off the edge. Slide everything back in place. Okay, I do want to verify that there is honey in this super. Because if it's not, it needs to come off. Oh, there's lots of bees. You know what, let's just tilt. Well, I gotta get the honey, or the queen excluder out, so let's lift that anyways. That was pretty stuck. And this is very empty. Now we gotta figure out how to get the bees out of here. So, queen excluder off. It's a very slow method, but if I take this frame by frame, I can definitely make sure I get the bees off. good thing is I wanted them to clean up these frames. There wasn't really enough to extract. And they did a good job. And now it's crazy time. Lots of bees. Let's try a little smoke. Actually, they're not bothering me, but they are making a lot of noise. Now, the danger with a big hive like this is, do they have enough resources food-wise? Because a beehive this, or a hive this large, will consume a lot of resources. So this one I really have to watch for. As strong as it is, could be its own worst enemy. Okay, those are all gone. Replace it with the candy board, which is pretty heavy. Now this is not what I want to do, but I'm kind of desperate. Candy board might come to the rescue. I put the Hive Alive back on with a hole in the candy. I think I need my shim in here. Now look at that, all these bees already. Okay. Put it down slowly, try to let them run away. And we put this all back on. So there's one of my candy boards I need to use, and maybe I need to make some more of them. Okay, good luck, girls. These two hives weighed in very heavy. That's without the bricks. You don't want to check them with the bricks unless you get used to what the brick weight is too. I checked this hive, gave it a little heft, a little lighter than I'd like to see it. So we are going to feed this. Population looks pretty good. Got to take out the Formic Pro. I'm definitely late in doing that, but I always get lucky and have a warm day like this in the fall. Oh, there is a lot of weight in this top box, so I'm not as concerned as I first was. That's good. And the bottom's got a good population underneath. Not as heavy as those other two, but it is still pretty heavy. You'll notice that I'll drop my Formic Pro over here. I've been told that it's biodegradable, will decompose. I hope everybody's right on that, and if not, I will pick that up. But I do see that they do decompose under the hive, so that's why you see me dropping those down there. So, pretty good weight, but you know what? It won't hurt to give them a little extra food. So, I didn't have shims when I put this hive together for the winter, or at least prepping it. So we're going to take out the inner cover, replace that with a shim. And the reason we want the shim in there is we want to give a little bit of space for the Hive Alive. Now, I have a hole in the top. Let me bring you over here so you can see that. There's a hole in the top. I do top ventilate. I find that works for me. I know there's this whole condensing hive thing going on now, and guess I don't know if it is a good or better or not. I've had success doing both. So I like the vents so that when they get snow built up on the entrance, they still have a way of getting out. Get this all put together. Line them up. If you line up the two corners with your fingers, you can feel it. Good way of lining them up. So that's one of my new queens that I bred. Here's one of mine. Here's one of our local beekeepers around here that sells queens. Those are New World Carnioleans. Now let's move on to the next hive. Okay, I wasn't going to video this one, but I just gave it a check with the heft, and it is really heavy. Tells me I probably still have honey up there, but I am not going to extract any more honey. So what I really want to do is, let's see, I got to get the Formic Pro out of here. That's kind of light. Looks like I left a frame out of here because I was planning on taking this off. And maybe I should combine those. So we want to get the queen excluder out. And then we want to take the Formic Pro out. Oh yeah, this is heavy. So just tilting it, it is very heavy. So there is lots of food in that box. And those two honey soakers weren't very heavy. There's some honey in there, so I'm going to go frame by frame, take out the empty ones and leave them with their food. But this hive should have plenty of food. Oh boy, this is a heavy one. Good job. So now I have the queen excluder removed. I'm going to take one of these boxes. What I'm going to do, I'm going to grab an empty box and transfer them in there. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. That took a little longer than I expected, but that's the good thing about video. We can edit that out. So, take an empty box. And we want to transfer anything that has honey into this box and transfer the bees. No bees or no honey. Oh, there's some honey. We'll give that to them for the winter. This looks pretty empty. Yep. Yeah, that has nectar. Okay, we'll give that to them. And this definitely has food. If you're wondering, I don't like putting honey supers on top. The bees will be up there in the spring. When I'm doing my splits, I want to do them with deeps, not the mediums. But I can deal with that. It's much better than starving bees. So even if I wanted to extract these things weren't ready. There's not much in there. Let's give this one a shake. A little bit in there, but not much. Okay, now we're back to an empty box. Give it a tap. All right, that might have been a bang. Oh, lots of bees up here. Let's see, is there much honey? Now that's kind of a dilemma. I'm going to hold that aside. There's a little bit of honey on top, but really not much. I want to fill this box with more honey. That's got more weight to it. This looks like nothing. So there's an example of no foundation. They're building their own comb. Here's a good honey frame. Well, it's nectar. It's not capped over yet. So they will consume this probably first. This feels pretty empty. Kind of hope this all balances out, that I don't have any extra frames. Oh, that one's got some stuff on there. Let's see, what are these gonna bring? Kind of empty. And that's got food in it, so we'll finish with that one. Okay, we're doing good. I'm not going to put a feeding shim on this hive because it is very heavy. This one should be good to go. I have to get rid of these bees so that I can put the inner cover on, or cover on. These guys are all hanging out. Let's give them a shake or a tap. There's our foam insulation. This hive is ready for winter. Okay, this hive, I know I have a problem with. I checked the sample boards. So some people wonder why sample boards. So what I'm looking at here is little pieces of leaves. Well, bees do not bring in leaves. Mice do. So it's probably time to evict this resident. Now, this hive is very light. Doesn't seem like this hive's gonna live. So we're gonna have to decide if we have another hive to combine this with. But this is one reason I like sample boards. I can see that type of thing happening. I do have a lot of bees in here. So now I gotta figure out, can I get them to survive? Let's go digging for, yeah, see, that's not very heavy. Get the formic out of here. There's still some bees here. I don't see any over here, which makes me think this is where our resident may be. There's honey, that's good. There. Starting to see some leaf mulch. Maybe I did evict this one already, and we're just seeing leaves left over. A mouse in your hive will kill the hive. So this was all chewed away by a mouse. They are terrible in your hive. I may just go to one box with this hive. So it appears that The mouse must not have been in the hive when I put the mouse guard in. But here again, it chewed away holes in here. This frame is actually no good for wintering in. So let's clean the bottom board out while we have this all opened up. I'm just gonna tilt that. So here you can see all the debris that the mouse has been bringing in. It's all leaves. Okay, I'll put this box back on top. Put the mouse guard in. We do not want the mouse coming back. Okay, empty frame. Empty, maybe a little bit. We'll see. See if I have more to kick that out with. Okay, those frames are no good for wintering in. This is empty. This is empty. Probably should be looking for a queen, huh? I think she's actually in the top box. All right, this is no good. All right, that's got a population. Quick scan just to see if I can find a queen. Don't see her, but here's a good frame for her. Well, half of it's good. So I'm assuming that I have several empty frames in here. So let's get those culled out. And they are all propolized together. There we go. Starting to come out. All right, not really much on there, so let's see if we have something better to put in. There's a good frame with resources. No queen yet. Guess I should probably look a little harder. Oh, there's another nice frame. Oh, nice frame. And a big old queen cell that was emerged. Don't know when that happened. Let's put that on the outside. More nectar. So I have eggs. So I do have a laying queen in here. And for all of you non-formic people, I don't have the problems that a lot of you guys have. Not sure if it's temperature, ventilation, but there's a queen in here. So now the problem is going to be is, do they have enough food? Now, I don't know if virgin queens are still mating, but there are a ton of drones in here still. They have not all been evicted. So sometimes I put medium frames in the box, and this is what they do. They make a deep frame out of it. So you can run medium frames in a deep box, and the bees will take care of it. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I should be able to squeeze one more in there. This has got a little bit on there, so let's put that on the end. Put that in there. So this hive definitely needs to be fed. Okay, I finished the inspection. Yep, I am not going to take my veil off. Right now the bees are a little feisty. I've left them with some of the table scraps, meaning that I took some of the supers off that had just residual nectar in them, and I've let the bees clean those up. And in the meantime, I probably started a small robbing frenzy. It's not a big one, but here, let's take a look at the hives and I'll show you. So, as you can see, it's not totally crazy. Maybe that far hive's got a little more activity, but that hive is very large. So, all in all, I'm pretty happy with the outcome. I have some hives that are doing a little better than I expected. And there's a couple that probably are not going to make it through the winter. What I would tell some of the newer beekeepers, don't set your expectations too high, because you'll just be setting yourself up for disappointment. But treat it as a learning lesson. So, as I said before in one of my other videos, make sure you got your mites under control, and make sure your hives have food. That's some of the problem I'm going to have with some of these very strong big hives, is they've actually consumed all of their food, or at least most of their food. I'm trying to put some feed on there. I'll put a sugar board on as a desperate attempt, but not sure if some of those are going to make it. So we'll see. Well, I hope you enjoyed this and maybe learned a little bit, or at least you see firsthand what I'm doing. I hope you survive the winter, and well, you and your bees, and have a good spring. See you later. that on top of the hive. Put a shim in here. Moisture board. Should be good to go. So we'll check this hive in about another week, see how they're doing with consuming the hive alive. And on to the next one.